So Prince Charming has finally asked you out. You've been desperately trying to get his attention. You finally did, and now you have a date planned. You're so excited that you can hardly stand it. Then come the flood of questions that run through your mind. What am I going to wear? What should I do with my hair? Where will we go? What will we do? And then comes the biggest one of all, what are we going to talk about? Did you know that one of the most important first date tips for women involves the conversation and what you talk about during the date? It's true, and the reason is because it is what captures a man's attention most. Don't get me wrong. You do want to look good, even hot. But your looks will only take you so far as to get the first date. From there it's what you say that will leave him wanting more. Now the question becomes, what can I say to nail the first date and clinch a second? This is the dating advice you really need, so pay close attention. First, know that there are certain topics that are off limits. I'm sure you can guess what the top one is that should be avoided at all costs. You got it, ex-boyfriends. It's funny because this dating advice for women should be a given, but you wouldn't believe the number of women who go on a date and consume the entire conversation with stories about their exes. They'll mention that they cheated on them and now her whole life she'll be hell-bent on paying him back. Or, she'll talk about how he broke up with her, but she still loves him heart and soul, just as a couple of examples. Can you see how the guy on the other side of the table from you might get turned off by these stories? Other topics you'll need to be careful with, that comes from a list of dating tips for women from men, are the personal ones that give the appearance that you might be sizing him up. Questions in this category involve asking him where he works, how much money he makes, where he sees himself in 5 years, etc. Men feel that these questions are asked in order to judge him. That is certainly not something he is interested in, especially on the first date with a woman. Other questions that will have him squirming include those about marriage, the desire to have kids, and so on. Asking these will have him feeling like he is applying for a job he never submitted an application for. Granted, these questions may be open for later discussion, it's one that should be reserved for other dates than the first one. You do want to keep the conversation interesting though, so when the proper questions are asked, make them fun, open-ended, and deep even. Here are a few of those examples. What was the craziest thing you ever did as a kid? What is your best friend like? If you could have any job in the world, what would it be and why? These questions will keep things from getting boring, plus you'll surprise him with questions he is not expecting. And pleasant, unexpected, and fun conversation is one of the biggest hooks that will catch your manfish.